Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Board Game Captain.
I'm Alex, and today we are reviewing another expansion for Sails of Glory. We are looking at the Spanish fleet version, which you can get for the first-rate ships of the line of the. This one's gonna be tough. San Hermenegildo. I'm going with San Hermenegildo.
I think you're right. I think you got that.
San
Tell us if we're wrong down below.
Yeah. Tell me how I'm wrong.
Yes. Tell us how to pronounce it, please.
And then the other ship is the Principe de Asturias. These are, like I said, both first-rate ships of the line from the Spanish fleet. This expansion comes with the two-sided ship card, which you're seeing there. Another, as is typical, beautifully detailed model with the base card there on the bottom that
two-sided,
you can flip over. I'm always, every time I get one of these, I'm continually impressed with how
detailed
and just the quality of these.
They're really cool. They are really cool.
The Principe de Asturias expansion comes with the F
maneuver
deck. This is, I think, all of the first-rate Spanish ships are F maneuver
The ones
decks.
we've gotten so far have all been.
Yeah, and it's not maneuverable. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, generally speaking, first-rate ships are slow and not very maneuverable, but it's compounded with the Spanish ships because of their veer of 3.
Yes, so it's a less maneuverable deck, and like the captain here just said, the ships have a veer of 3 and a burden of 6.
And both versions have that.
Both versions have that. The 6 is a standard, I think, for
first rates.
All first rates,
yeah.
And the veer of 3 seems to be a uniquely Spanish problem.
Bigger guns, less maneuverability is the key elements of the Spanish fleet.
That's what the Spanish do. They have slower, less maneuverable ships, but they fill
lots
them with guns.
Yeah, lots of firepower. Oh my god, they got a lot of firepower.
So the better of the two versions is the Principe de Asturias, and the Principe has a full broadside in its first box of 8, with a 5 and a 6 front and rear arcs, respectively. This is
and I think doesn't it get 5 musket fire too?
It's 5 musket fire, which I think
that's brutal.
I think the British even have 3. One of your versions has a 3 for musketry.
Yeah, I don't have anyone that goes up to 5. Most of mine go up to 4s.
Right.
So that 5 musketry is actually quite good.
So so here's the first damage box. Has got the full broadside of an 8, which is
very good.
Very good. Second, really only to the Santa Ana's 9, which is ridiculous.
As high as it can go. Yeah. That's the only ship with a 9 is the Santa Ana.
And then I think actually more interesting than the one box with the 8 is that the next 3 have
all
7s, which is also unusual. Usually you're down into 6s by the time you get to that third box.
That's actually a very powerful ship. Yeah, it really is.
I really enjoy playing with this ship because of its firepower for its point value, which we'll get into in a minute. But that's the Principe de Asturias side.
Now, how about for variability? How does the let's see if I can say it. The San Hermenegildo.
Hermenegildo.
I think that's
yeah. Well, we're gonna go
right.
with it. We've decided that's what it is now.
So how does that stack up now?
The San Hermenegildo is similar, but just a little bit less in all regards. So instead of an 8 for its first broadside, it gets that 7. It's got 7 for 2 boxes, first 2, which is nice, and then it runs 6 for the next 3. So the theme kind of is maintained in that it holds its firepower for more damage,
right?
Which is something the Principe de Asturias does as well. It's just less.
Yeah, its max firepower is not quite match up.
Right.
No,
not quite as hard, but it still gets.
It's still decent.
Yeah, it still gets a standard 4 musketry all the way across. It doesn't. The 5s for the first 3 boxes on the Principe. I don't know.
There are very few ships that do that.
I don't even think the Santa Ana has.
Yeah, they've got a lot of people with muskets aboard that ship. That ship is crazy with the 5 musketry. It's really good at killing crew.
Its listed crew on the ship card is 1,141 crew, which is why you get 5 on the Principe. Obviously, there's fewer on the Hermenegildo. I'm not going to do that right every time. It's going to be different every time. wrong and different.
I think it's wait. What is it? Let me see it again. It's I think it's Hermenegildo.
Hermenegildo.
I think.
All right, we'll go with Hermenegildo.
Because the H is almost silent when it's on the beginning of a word in Spanish. I think. So
okay. So point value, which again, like I say, the first thing you look at when you're going shopping is the price. So the Principe, being as powerful as it is a 210 point ship. Now that is just shy of the Santa Ana's 213.
This puts it just within striking distance of those giant point value ships like the Santa Ana and the Hibernia at the 213 and 212. It's just a little beneath them.
So at 210, you get just a little bit less firepower than the Santa Ana. But I think it makes it that those 3 points can make a difference when you're putting together a 400 point fleet. So
it can.
It's only 3 points, but it's a big 3 points because it gets you're less than 211, which is that 1 point over is going to make a big difference. So I like that it is the point value I think is appropriate. The San Hermenegildo.
I got to look at it to say it.
Yes, Hermenegildo.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So the San Hermenegildo is significantly less expensive at 191. That's the equivalent point value of the Mexicano, which is the Santa Ana's variant. So, and it's very similar. So these are very similar ships, and
that's a bargain for a first-rate ship of the line.
Yeah. So 191 is for, and it's still very powerful because it's a Spanish ship. It still deals with the maneuverability issues that all the Spanish ships deal with. Yeah. But as a first rate at 191 with you have between 7 and 6 chip pulls for a broadside, all the way until your damage is at 6 boxes. You have a very powerful ship that will last long in the fight, and I really enjoy this ship for that reason. It's a point value. I think again it's very appropriate. It's less than the Principe, but it's still a very powerful ship, and at 191 points is a pretty good deal.
And it is quite versatile.
It is and so. The expansion itself now is also very versatile. We did not run into the problems of two of the same ships in the same
being too similar. No, these are very different ships.
Very different.
You have the one that is a much bigger bargain. You have the other one that could be your biggest ship of your fleet. And they actually the firepower on those Spanish ships is just impressive. Yeah. It really is. I got to tell you, sitting on the other side of the table from you, I struggle on outmaneuvering you. I mean, I think so hard on it because I just do not want to take full broadsides from your ships. They're so brutal.
And so the 2 Spanish expansions that I have reviewed, well, 2 of the ones I've reviewed, you could put both of those together and have a fleet of 382 points. And you have 2 first ship of the lines that are very, very powerful.
It's true.
The flip side of those cards, obviously, are much, much more powerful ships at 210 plus points. Which, like I said, is one of the greatest things about the Spanish fleet, in my opinion, is how versatile it is.
Oh, it's great.
So I gave the Santa Ana, which is the most powerful ship.
Go watch it if you want to see what we did.
Yeah, you want to go watch it. It's in. You'll see it up there or down there.
But how many? Where are you going at with stars for this one?
So I'm actually going to rate this, I think, higher than the Santa Ana.
What?
This is my 10-point ship.
You're kidding me.
No, I like this ship.
10? Really?
Yeah, so I give the Santa Ana, you'll see, go review it, but I'm rating this higher at 10 points.
Wow.
So I actually prefer the Principe because of the versatility of its point value and the versatility of its variant. I really appreciate that. Those 3 points, I think, can make a big difference.
It really can, I agree.
And it's the same hull rating, same maneuverability. It's slightly less powerful on its first initial broadside.
Yes.
But it maintains its power, I think, a little bit longer, which I like.
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. Now, I do think this is a fantastic ship. Yes. I agree with you on that. It's a phenomenal ship, but I think that, personally, I think it's head and shoulders beneath the what is the one that does the 9 chip? Santa Ana.
Santa Ana, yeah.
I always forget. Santa Ana.
You really like that.
I really like that.
That 1-9. The problem is that the first hint of damage.
Yeah, but the first hint of damage in this, and you lose the 8.
But you maintain your 7s for longer.
That's true.
Which I like.
Okay.
I think this can withstand damage and still put out a bigger
But a big part of both of these ships is you want to get the first volley off. You need to get that first volley off before the damage is done to you.
Right.
It's very important. In regard to that, though, this is a fantastic ship. I just don't think it's quite as good as... So I'm going to disagree with you. I don't think it's quite as good as the Santa Ana, whereas you rank this higher than the Santa Ana, mainly because of the bargain of the cheaper cost.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this ship a 9. Now, I'm a bit lower. I liked the Santa Ana better, my personal opinion. The thing is, when I'm across the table from you, I really fear the Santa Ana's firepower more. This is still a fantastic ship, though, and it's definitely currently one of the best ships in either of our fleets. So it's still up there.
I think I like playing this one. I think this one's more fun to play. I think you have a little bit more...
it's a little more forgiving because it's cheaper.
A little more forgiving, and it's a little more interesting. You're not just... The Santa Ana, I love the Santa Ana, don't get me wrong, but you have to get in position and fire first, and you have to get a broadside, and if that doesn't happen...
you feel like it's a lot of eggs in one basket?
Yeah, and everyone knows what you're doing with it. There's no...
there's
no pussyfooting around.
No, it's true. It's true.
You're going right at it. So I think this one's a little more interesting, but it's right up there with... It's not like I rated this
great ship
poorly. So yeah, I think this is my favorite ship of the expansions.
Wow. Okay, so there you have it. Now that is a 10 stars from Alex, a 9 stars from me. We obviously both really like this ship. And Ouch, would you recommend to people for their first-rate ship of the line to get the Principe de Asturias? Would this be the first ship someone making a Spanish fleet should get for their first ship rate of the first-rate ship of the line? God, that's a tongue twister.
First-rate ship.
First-rate ship
of the line. I think I'm not saying you should, but you absolutely could. This could be your first purchase, and you'd be perfectly fine with it. The Santa Ana, I think, is a little easier to play with
because of how devastating it is.
How devastating it is, and how you're actually kind of limited in your choices when you're playing with that. So I think that actually is a little easier to begin with.
So you still think the Santa Ana should be the first? This should be the second?
Yeah, I think the Santa Ana is the first ship you should get if you want to do a first-rate ship expansion. But this should be the second, because once you've played with this one, you're going to like it better. But the Santa Ana is very impressive, and if you're going to do tournament play, you really got to consider
the points,
and those 3 points on this ship are a big deal, I think.
It's 3 points that can go to your other ship.
Yeah, or keep you with below. You're going to be knocking on the door of 400 points every time with 2 first rates. So
it's true.
Those 3 points make a big difference.
Well, there you have it. If you have played with either the Principe de Asturias or and I have to look at it to read it, or the San Hermenegildo, please comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are on this ship. If you got any comments, questions, or concerns on either ship, feel free to comment down below. And if you enjoyed this review and you'd like us to do more like it, be sure to give this video a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Kaptain. That's Kaptain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.